Court.
Good evening. Good evening. How everybody doing tonight? Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Hello.
Tap in with us. Facebook, YouTube. We live this evening. Try to get a little conversation in before that weather hit. They say we're going to get some freezing rain. So make sure if y'all on the roads, early morning, late night, y'all be careful. We got a couple new faces. If you joining us live. Two of our hosts ditched us for the day. So if y'all see them in the streets, tell them don't keep missing. Shout out to Kira and Crystal, who are not with us this evening due to other engagements, but we love them. We miss them. But in a place, we got Keela. She's joining us. Everybody say, hey, Keela.
Hey,
Keela.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for having me.
And then if y'all tapped in with us Wednesday before last, because we was off last Wednesday, we did miss y'all. We got Dante joining us again this Wednesday.
Okay, I'm happy to be here again.
Oh, he said he happy to be here again. That mean they ain't show out too bad because I was here. I wasn't here the Wednesday he joined last. So if he back, that mean we ain't show out too bad.
Oh Lord.
We was nice.
Y'all was nice.
Yeah, we was nice.
All right, Dante, you had them in check because my girls get.
I had them.
You had
chokehold.
Okay.
I had them in the chokehold.
Even
I don't know about all
No,
that.
not really her. These two that was over here. Chokehold.
Yeah, I don't look. Cause you see, I said not Jen, baby, not Jen. So tonight we talking about co-parenting. So a hot topic. I think it's important to discuss because what we instill in our kids at this juncture is setting the tone for this next phase of life. And so what they see in a household, how we interact in different relationships is important in the type of humans that they grow up to be as they grow out in the world. So we want to focus on co-parenting from two perspectives. So co-parenting from a single parent. So you and the other parent are separated, but maybe neither one of you guys are in a relationship. So still parenting separately, but nobody is in another relationship with another individual. And then we also want to discuss what does co-parenting look like if one or both of you are in a relationship, but you guys still have to parent this child. Oftentimes I've heard a lot of people say that there's no such thing as a healthy co-parenting relationship, and I find issue with that. Like, I think I've seen some very healthy co-parenting relationships and situations from friends that I know. My co-parenting relationship is better, much better. So I think that it's healthy and it gets healthy consistently. We're consistently working, so I do think it's something that you have to work on, but we're just gonna dissect this thing today. We're gonna talk about what that looks like, pros, cons, goods, bads. So to kick us off, of course, hot topic, and I want everybody to get their opinion. What is your definition?
She over there cracking up. I'm trying to figure
I was
out.
laughing at her.
Oh,
What
okay.
is your definition of co-parenting? So, and when I say that, I'm saying, do we think it's 50-50 on both ends? Do we think that the non-custodial parent, meaning the parent that's not in the home, should just always be available whenever that other parent calls? What do we feel like co-parenting truly means?
Want to go first?
No, you go ahead.
I can go first. Okay, so
Ladies first.
for me, co-parenting, I feel like co-parenting is it should be 50-50. Like, if you can take, well, like I tell my kid's father, like, be me when you in your house. So if I'm taking my kid to school every day, then you need to do it that next week or whatever we decide to put up. So you need to have clothes at your house. She got to have, roof over your head, or, go up to a friend's house, activities, so it should be 50-50 for me.
Okay. So I'm a piggyback on that. Do you think that it can truly be 50-50 and separate?
Oh yeah, most definitely it
Okay.
can be. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Dante. What you?
I feel like it should be 50-50. Like in my situation, it's like 60-40. But I'm gonna give it to them. Like I'm gonna give it to my kid's mother because they do more than me. Like whatever they ask me to do, I'm gonna do it because they always they don't wait on me to do nothing. They just do it. So I feel like it should be 50-50, but right now it's 60-40.
So for you, because you know and you recognize that as their mothers, they're probably doing more because they're in the household. So whenever she call and be like, I need this, or can you do this, you gonna do it with no doubt because you recognize that the brunt of it or the majority of the work just is done on that side.
Yeah.
All right, I feel that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Jen?
I think 50-50 don't work all the time. Like,
No, it don't.
in my case, I lived in a different state.
Okay.
So we couldn't do 50-50. So with me, consistency is key. So I feel like as long as what you bring it all the time, consistency, and you don't lack, I feel like we can make it work. Like if I can trust that if you say you don't got it, you really don't got it. I'm good with that. If you ride every time I need you to ride and you there when I need you, we good. Because one parent gonna always, I feel like, pull the boat of the weight because the kid got to be taken to school, picked up, all that. Somebody got to be at work. Somebody not available.
Okay.
So,
So for you, it's the consistency of it all. As long as the other parent is consistent, that's kind of how you feel the co-parenting vibe should work.
Yep.
So when you say consistency, so when it's not consistent, it's the co-parenting relationship is
when it's not consistent, I think that's how drama come.
Okay.
Because when it's today you can't do it, tomorrow you can, this week you come in, next week you not.
Okay.
If we got a plan and we stick to the plan and you consistent with the plan, I feel like it'll work better. But a lot of people don't be upfront, and say that I don't got it. They come up with excuses, and excuses ain't what's gonna work. Is you got to just be upfront with it.
So does the consistency come with a plan? Like you gonna do X, Y, and Z, and I'm gonna do A, B, and C, or is it just kind of like what Dante said? If the other parent calls and needs something, then you go.
Right.
It depends on the situation, because some people's situations, you can't have a plan.
Okay.
Like if one parent like now, I live an hour away, so. If I'm an hour away and you an hour away, I can't expect you to come and do school runs. That's too far. You know what I'm saying? But what I can expect you to do is show up when I need you to show up. So if I tell you ahead of time that next Thursday I need you to do this, then I feel like you should make arrangements to do it next Thursday because I'm doing it most of the time. So when I need you, as long as you showing up, I feel like we can always work it out.
Okay, I can get with that. And if y'all tuning in, drop y'all comments or y'all feedback in the comment section. We want to hear from y'all as well. So what I'm hearing from Jen is consistency. Then I heard the 50-50. So at what point does a co-parenting relationship become unhealthy or toxic or just not working? At what point, or what kind of contributes to the toxicity of the co-parenting relationship going bad?
I think like Jen said, like the inconsistency, like when you're not consistent, you know what I'm saying, it throws it off. And then when you don't always come through, when you try to make it about y'all instead of about the child, that's when it becomes toxic, because now we ain't talking about the child. So what we talking about here? That ain't co-parenting. We over.
Right. And
we're done.
So Dante, what you got? I got some, but I gotta wait a minute.
I like the consistency part when she said that, but like when a person is either one, male or female, is still in their feelings, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
So we think it can't work so we think co-parenting can't work if it's some form of
emotions or feelings. It's not gonna work.
If you mature enough, it can work. Because if you mature enough, you can put your feelings to the side. If you feel like going in that the kid is first and everything is only revolving around the kid, and put your personal feelings aside, then you can come up with a plan and have consistency.
I mean, you can, but
that's not making it about y'all two then. You get what I'm saying? Like, but when you got that, well, I think what he's saying, like when you got that person that's like in their
Somebody
feelings
still want to be
constantly.
with somebody.
Yeah.
Then that's when the conflict and toxic come in.
Mhm.
So how do you navigate that to
Grow up.
I
mean, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
I mean that's true, but at the same time, that person might not, grow up, but you still want to try. So are we saying that you just cannot have a co-parenting relationship if one or both are still having some underlying feelings or emotions?
I think it all depends on that person.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it all depends. Like, for me, I always say I had to put my baby daddies on pause.
Okay.
I got to put them on pause because when you go into the situation and, okay, so I'll give you an example.
Okay.
My daughter's father. So we had who I was telling y'all about earlier. We had a situation where I got into a relationship. He was already in a relationship, and we both pretty much just said we moved on, but he was still in his feelings. And so every time we talked, it was always about, he tried to make it about me and him.
Okay.
So I was just like, okay, yeah, I'm about to put you on pause. If it's not about her, don't call me. If it's not about you picking her up, don't call me. If it's not about you like buying her something, bringing her something, do not call me.
Mhm.
And every time he would try to weasel in something about me and him, hey, all right, goodbye, click.
Okay,
And
so
I
you just
hang
cut it
up.
off. Just got to
Yeah.
make sure we keeping it strictly about the kids.
I just cut it
But
off.
most times, I think when it happened like that, then the dad cut off the kid.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
what I was,
sometimes
and
that
that's
do
what I was
happen.
about.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say or
Yeah.
ask. Like,
And that did happen a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he did go months without seeing her, but it wasn't so much on me like cutting communications with him as far as like with that. It was, he had some other stuff going on personally. So I kind of understood, but at the same time, I'm just like, no, you need to get it together a little faster. You get what I'm saying? Like, without putting his business out there in the street. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So
What's not right, Marlon? Marlon said that's not right. What's not right?
Right, Merle, what's not right? let the peoples know.
Let us know what's not right.
So while we wait for Marlon to chime in, my next question was, and we kind of already answered it.
Right, yeah, you're right. That's not right, but that's what happens though. Most
I'm gonna
dads,
say 80% of the time.
Most
most
dads,
definitely,
when the relationship is
That ain't
over
right.
with the
Cut the kid off.
mom, they cut the relationship off with the kid, and that's why I
Oh,
said
yeah.
growing up. Because if you an adult and you really a man,
Mhm.
whether you with that woman or not, you still want to be there for your kids. So nothing is gonna stop you from doing that, whether she with somebody or not. But every man is not in that place, and also every woman not in that place.
That's true.
Great questions, great comments. So how do you have that conversation? Like, it sounds like with Keela, she just let them know, like, we couldn't, we talk about the kid, that's it, ain't no small talk. But because you don't want that strife, or you don't want that child to go without that relationship with that parent, but you recognize that that parent still has some type of underlying feelings, like what does that conversation look like for you as a parent that just, you want that relationship for your child? So
I don't necessarily think it have to be a conversation. Like, everything don't require every conversation. It come with setting boundaries.
Okay.
So when you set boundaries, that when the conversation comes about other than the child, like she said, and you cut the conversation short, then if you keep doing that, eventually they're gonna stop bringing it up. So in a sense, that's how most of them fade themselves out, because when the mom is not talking about the kid no more, you know what I'm saying? Then they not talking at all, which is not right. So, like you said, how do you fix that?
So how do you fix that?
Or
you
I
don't
feel like
fix
it got to be a conversation had.
And
I'm big on communication.
I'm big on communication.
A lot
too.
of people not though.
Yeah.
A lot of people not. They not
Yeah.
grown enough to have that conversation. Because think about it. When you have that conversation, it's gonna still go back to, well, you did this to me. Everything gonna be me.
And that's
so
why you gotta
when you
set them
remove
boundaries.
me out the equation and just make it all about the kids, a conversation don't have to be had. Because if you're gonna be a dad, you're gonna be one. If you're gonna be a mother, you're gonna be one. You don't have to have a conversation about being a parent. You're gonna just do it, right?
That
you
is true.
supposed to. So either you gonna grow up or you ain't.
So, but and this is a question. So is that really healthy for the child to see?
What?
Because the child is going to pick up on the dynamic between that mother and that father. So now there is a certain tension because the boundaries are there, and rightfully so. I'm not saying you shouldn't have the boundaries, but children pick up on tension. So now this child has picked up on the tension because these two grown individuals can't figure out how to communicate. So then that child develops not being able to communicate in difficult situations, which perpetuates. And so that's what I'm
Right.
so that's why I think the conversation is important, not so much so for the other parent, but again, we need to figure this out so that what the child sees and what the child picks up on is healthy.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'm a communicator, so I'm like,
but you got to get to that stage
Yeah.
though. You got to remove all the negative feelings and all of that before you can even get to a communicating stage.
And
so that's why I said if you get to where you setting boundaries and you making it where the only communication is about the kid, if that man or that woman still want to be a parent, they're going to get the picture and only communicate when it's about that. But when we play games and sometimes we talk about it and sometimes we don't,
and I think
it's what happens.
And I think you have to have those difficult conversations. I think in my situation, that was our turning point. So whereas we had been separated for a while and we had been apart for a while, we never had a conversation about the hurt in the relationship. So again, that's
why? See,
so that's
why do you gotta still talk about the relationship?
Because sometimes you need that in order to move on
not
and have a healthy relationship.
And have a healthy. If you want to have a healthy, if you want to have a healthy co-parenting relationship, not a parent.
Some people need that.
I mean, some people may.
Some people need
it. So. And when I say healthy co-parenting relationship, my ideal state of co-parenting, whether single or blended, is we like all a melting pot. Because at the end of the day, like I'm with you, like we done had these babies. It ain't 18, it ain't 21. We done had these babies.
Exactly.
So it's gonna be
grandbabies and all of that.
So it's gonna be graduations. Right. It's gonna be birthdays. It's gonna be so if we got contention because we ain't dealt with our personal issues as an adult. When you come to those gatherings, not you in the corner or you looking stupid or I'm over here fuming, and the kids are picking up on that. Why my mom and daddy can't never, it's supposed to be my birthday and this one over here mad, this one over here cussing. And the co-parenting of it all has been affected because we didn't have a conversation to navigate whatever our personal feelings. Because again, we are all people, so the feelings are still there. But in order to have and when I not separate parenting, because I get what you're saying.
I mean, because sometimes you got to put your personal feelings to the side to be a parent. Like,
but
I gotta not think about.
But we talk about
being a parent together. Like,
even
at the birthday party, like you got to be able to show up at the birthday party and not worry about what he did to you. This is about your child today, so it's always the only way to do that is to put your personal feelings to the side. Everybody, as long as you worrying about how they used to make you feel, and what they used to do to you, it's gonna always be that tension. So I feel like the only way to do it is to put the personal feelings aside. Whatever was about me and you is no longer about, and we got to do this for our kids now. So now we got to be somewhat, like Crystal said, a different kind of family, a family where we don't have to talk about you and me or how you made me feel, because now it's about, as long as you don't make my kid feel no type of way, we good.
Right.
So,
but I do think you need the closure. And then Crystal said things that disturb our soul have to be dealt with. And so for me, because I never wanted, you got a mama, you got a daddy. Like I always said, even if we separated, I always wanted my children to feel like they had both their parents, and we might not be in a good space, but we still communicate. And I think what's the guy name who played in BMF? He was Terry, the bigger guy. the real handsome
Oh,
gentleman.
you talking about what is this?
Oh, I can't think of his name.
Or something.
I don't know.
But he just did a podcast about. He was on somebody's podcast, and they
seen
asked him
that.
about co-parenting.
I seen that.
And he
I
said,
agree
what
with
happens?
he
I
said.
agree with that.
I
He
agree.
said, what happens in situations like what we talking about where the parents are not communicating, the children pick up on that and they
do,
start
for
playing on
sure.
that.
They do. They
now
play
they playing
on
both
you.
sides of the fence.
Yeah.
But that's why you have to put your feelings aside so
Yeah.
you can be two parents so your
Right.
kid don't be able to play on you.
But see, like with my oldest daughter, which is now 21, woo woo Kaya.
Okay.
She played us. Like
They will do it.
she played the hell out of us, but he took it and ran with it. I
Okay.
didn't, because I know my child.
Okay.
He was the parent that didn't spend as much time with his child, so he didn't know. So it was like everything that he would say, she would say to him, like I can just probably, spanked her butt or something, and she probably went back and told her dad, like, Mama just
Beat you.
beat me and she did this, and
So
he
now
trying
he
to call
all-
and check me. Now we on the phone arguing and this and that, and we talking about a relationship too that didn't have closure either, for
So
real. You know what I'm saying? So, but he a little batshit crazy though, I'm gonna be honest. But at the same time, when you don't have that conversation, y'all don't have that conversation with each other, like, hey, your child said this and this, like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying?
You mean the conversation between the two parents talking
about
about
the child, right? Because it's to
most
the point where
definitely.
I don't never want to talk to him. Like he ain't like that's one of my kids. I know I don't never got to talk to him a day in my life, never. But
Well,
at the same time,
You have to.
we have to
have some
You get what I'm
conversation.
And
saying?
if people really seen it that way, like if you thought about that before we brought these kids in the world, like this is
Right.
somebody who you have to
that's
deal with
true.
for
the rest of your life.
like more than a marriage, more than any of that. You can
Got-
walk away from everything else,
but you
but
can't
you
walk
cannot
away,
walk away from
them
this.
kids.
Then maybe
People will
we'll think
change,
about before you having a kid, because
I had a friend of the family.
it's not that hard.
Going back to what you just said, I had a friend of the family. She an older lady of ours, woman, and she just said, she told us one day we was having girls' night. She said, "Hey, let me explain something." She's like, "Let me break something down to y'all." She said, "Be careful who you lay with, because it just might be your baby's daddy."
Mm-hmm.
And like for the rest of your life. Like we didn't get it at that point, and
Yeah.
I did not get it at first. Like, oh, what's she talking about? Like,
Right.
yeah, of course I want to be my baby daddy if we land up. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, back then because he was cute, or
You
because
know,
you liked them. I mean, because you was
Of
young,
course,
your
I
mind didn't
I
think.
want him to be around, right? But you
Yeah.
don't think about the gravity.
Right, I saw that. Crystal, ain't nobody bullying him.
You see me?
You don't think about the gravity behind it. You get
Or
what, I'm
what
saying?
they really like. Like
Right.
you don't even look at a person for what they really like when you think about bringing a kid in the
Exactly.
world with them. Like what type of father is this really going to be? If you
Mhm.
got a guy that's calling you out your name or bullying you or doing all this,
Yeah.
you lay up and have a baby vow, what do you think the relationship is going to be like? So,
And I mean to say baby mama too.
I got
Baby mama
okay.
too.
Well, my situation,
Go ahead.
my oldest son, he'd be 22, and me and his mother, I don't speak to her. I'm talking about he about to be 22. It been like he was 8, 9 years old. I didn't speak to her.
So how y'all
I was
navigate
gonna
through
say,
that?
how y'all work.
What
through that.
if it's not about well, it was about the kid, but I don't, if it's not about him, I don't talk to you.
Okay.
She don't call me, I don't call him. I mean, well, he was calling me.
Okay.
So I know what he want, and we dealt with him, my son, through my grandmother.
Okay, so y'all did have an adult, because I struggle with that a little bit too. You know, I ain't talking to you, but you could talk to your son or you could talk to your daughter, but then, that can get a little iffy too.
because now you got a middleman.
Because now you got a middleman and you don't
somebody
know
else
if the kid.
controlling
Right.
the narrative
Exactly.
of what's going on.
But she'll
So-
drop him off, say what she got to say. Then when I come, my grandmother tell me, "Oh, she said this, and I get him." But it's just like I just couldn't.
And that
got to
be the weirdest feeling, right?
Yeah,
that
I
got to
couldn't
be
do it.
the
Even like
weirdest
right now,
feeling that you can't have a conversation with somebody that you laid down and had a kid with. Like it got to be a weird feeling.
So how do you think
Man.
how you think your son feel
Right.
about that? Like, has a conversation been had, or you just think he kind of like whatever
Well,
type of
see,
deal?
my son, he always sided with me. But
Okay.
now that he older and he see what his mother do, now he like, oh, I see what you're talking about, daddy.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
When they
See,
get
now he
older,
didn't
They
have-
older.
I'm
they
a
see-
granddaddy now, so
Mhm.
like I see the way he interact with his daughter, and
Well, that's
oh my
good.
God.
I do got a scenario I want to pose to the group, more so to Dante, from a co-parenting situation. So, let's say the child's mother call and the child just being, and I'm gonna say a son, because we sometimes this kind of may happen a little bit more so with boys than with girls, but the son just being hella disrespectful in the house. Like hella disrespectful, like cussing, just acting a total fool, just disrespectful in the house to his mother, to the household, everything. And the mother calls you and says, you know, your son out of pocket, X, Y, and Z, he over here cutting the fool. Or daughter over here disrespectful, cutting the fool. How would you respond to that?
I'm gonna go over there and get him.
Okay.
All right, let's go over there and get him. I'm gonna talk to you over there, but when we get to the house, it's gonna be a little something different.
Okay.
Because I feel like you should respect her if I was there.
Okay.
What's gonna be so different by yourself? Like, what would you say to him if it was just you and him though?
I mean, like my kids, like I can talk to them or just look at them a certain way, and they'll just.
Okay.
But my kids' mothers there because like, oh, he did this, he did. I'm like, he don't do none of that in my house.
Okay.
It's like something different.
So do y'all feel it's appropriate to make those kind of calls?
Oh, I call about everything.
Oh yeah. for
I'm the
sure.
caller.
I feel
I-
like,
sure.
yeah.
My
Okay.
kids be upset. Like my daughter would be like,
Mm-hmm.
"Why you got to tell my daddy? I want to tell my daddy myself." Because my kids can't pull nothing on us.
Okay. and see,
He
that's
gonna
what-
know,
Yeah.
just like it's gonna be an equal decision made.
Right.
I'm not making no decision. I'm not saying yes to nothing. He not saying yes to nothing without it being equal. We made it that way from
Right.
day one. I feel like that's
Yeah.
That's
you
what I'm
have
talking-
to have an
you-
equal partnership, and it can't be that when I get mad at him because he say he don't got no money, I strip his rights away and say he can't be a dad no more. Because sometimes I don't have it either.
Right.
But as
Right.
mothers, that's what we do. As soon as the dad don't have it, we feel like we in control and we can strip their rights away. So now you can't see him, you can't get him, you can't come to the house because he ain't have $50. We can't do that as mothers. No, come and get them. Broken night, y'all better eat peanut butter and jellies together.
Right.
So,
come on.
In that same situation, is it appropriate, or let's say that other parent is in a relationship and you as the mother or the father, you know, you calling like, you know, to have those conversations, or they cutting up, whatever.
And the
or
other person don't want you calling.
saying like, why they calling so much?
Oh no.
So for me,
That's
I feel
out
like
of
that's
pocket.
his responsibility to handle his person in his house, because I'm gonna call. So if your person got a problem with that, that's up to you to handle your person, because you gotta put your person in check and let your
Mhm.
person know that I'ma be calling. It ain't for me to be like, oh, why your girl? They don't got nothing to do with me. Whatever go on in his household, he gotta handle that. I don't got nothing to do with that. Get your girl.
Because you know the number one thing we hear when it comes to co-parenting
Is the other parent.
is,
But-
y'all
but let
can't
me
be
say this.
co-parenting that good. Y'all must still be smashing,
a
or y'all
lot of-
must still be.
A lot of people thought that. A lot of people gonna think that because the world thrive on drama. So if
Yes,
it's not drama
negativity.
in a relationship, they automatically think that. Like
Yeah.
my older kids, I haven't been with their dad in 14 years. I ain't no smashing. But when it comes to parenting, we had 3 kids together. We got to raise 3 kids together. I didn't have 3 kids by myself. So it's not me, it's we. So if they need something, if I
Right.
can't do it, he got to do it. If I can't do it, if I can't pick them up, you got to pick them up. It got to be a whole 50. It's not one parent rule.
Mhm.
I
gotta
think
be-
that's the whole thing.
Mhm.
One parent don't rule. It's not no ace of
Yeah.
spade trump on parenting. It's equal. We both jokers.
Okay.
That's just how we is. We both
I like
jokers.
I like
Yeah.
that. G. I like
It
that.
can't be, or it's gonna be drama because one person gonna feel like they making all the rules. It's not a rule maker because we both had the baby. So
Yeah.
So
I'll
Dante-
drop them off.
Dante, why you think that's the narrative? Because that's the narrative that I hear, that a lot of people hear. Like, if you cool or y'all ain't got no drama, you know, in that in that parenting situation, y'all must still is something there.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't no way y'all just friends and y'all just parenting.
Oh, it got to be the emotions that's there or something. Well, the other guy, well, like in my situation, I got 4 baby mamas,
Oh,
so
Ooh,
I
okay.
deal with.
so
I
and not
deal
like
with-
that, but that's
yeah.
a lot of
Levels.
personality.
That's a lot
I
to
deal
deal
with
with.
her, them 4. Then the kids, it's 4. Then they boyfriend, I'm cool with their boyfriends. Like when I first meet them, oh, what's going on, bro? Talk to him, everything. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna be getting that call from you. Watch. I'm like, what you mean? Then months or years go by later on. Hey, man, yeah, bro, you told me. I was like, I told you. But I feel like when they do that, it's jealousy.
Okay.
That's basically all I can say. Because if we cool, why are you feeling some type of way towards me? I don't want this lady.
Right.
Right.
It's got to be about
Yeah.
respect. If you respect me and what I got going on, and I respect you and what you got going on, we won't have no issues.
Yeah.
If I can't comment on what's going on in your household, you don't comment on what's going on in my household, it can be mutual. But a lot of people be too busy worried about what the other person doing. If you don't worry about what the other person doing,
And just keep it
And
on.
just
the
keep
kids.
it on the kids,
and I talk
it'll
to
be
the guy
good.
too. Like I
Okay.
call him sometimes, like, bro, what's going on? Or he calling me about something my son and did. We have me and him have a talk. Like we
And I
talk
think that's
outside of
important
her.
to have.
That's
too.
grown, but a lot of
Yeah.
people don't
So
do that
too.
either. That's
Right.
why I'm saying communication ain't everybody don't communicate.
Mhm.
And we got to start. We got to start with communication because there's so much going on in the world just overall that we got to make sure we setting these kids up for success. So if we showing negativity, we showing drama, we always fighting in our household or in our situations, our relationships, like we really not doing our kids no justice. And especially with everything they can see on social media, friends talking to them, everything is anxiety, everybody's stressed out.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to have those hard conversations. And to be honest, I think it takes two parents now. Like I don't know
do.
how it can be
And-
one
and
parent
honestly,
at this point.
At this point, like people got to be able to accept that life get better. We get wiser. So when you get wiser, you can't make the same choices that somebody made back in the day. Right now, you can turn on the podcast and hear people talking like how we talking. You can know about birth control. You can see a guy and how he operates just off the internet. So let's make it to where we don't even have to have too many co-parenting situations unless we really get put in them. Because now it's so many baby showers where it's not even a daddy present.
Right.
It's not even a daddy there. So it's like we putting this narrative, oh, I'm having my baby for me. That's bringing them in the world already.
That's so
on bull
crazy
crap.
to me.
Like, and then when
And
somebody
child-
speak on it, they mad about it.
Right.
Like, how you having a baby shower alone? Now, of course, things happen. We're not saying that everybody not perfect, but this is becoming the normal.
Yeah.
Like it's becoming the normal, or you don't know who your baby daddy is. Like it's becoming the normal. You don't even know this man, first name, last name, nothing, and you having the baby, and
God
then you
almighty.
expect to co-parent with a stranger.
Yeah.
You don't know this person.
Yeah, you
You
don't.
don't know nothing about them. So
So how you
gotta
navigate that?
you gotta focus more on protecting yourself, being more smarter, being more wiser, and thinking before you bring a kid in the world. Is this gonna work? Just like you think about marriage and do I want to be tied to this person? At least when you get married, you can go get a divorce. I can go sign the papers whenever. You can't give a kid back.
Look,
Right.
stop letting that cootie cat
It
be
be-
so hot.
Yes.
Yeah.
It be this right here.
Yeah, I mean, right
So
now
it's
you're dealing
just
with
them.
liquor, you dealing with pills, you dealing with, so you go have one wild night, and now you got a baby.
Yeah.
And you don't even like this broad. You don't even know her. You know what I'm saying?
right,
You don't
right.
even know his real name. And now you hunting him down on Facebook to tell him that you had his baby. Like, we
Come
got to
on
stop
now.
that. Like,
Come
it's
on.
just.
So
it's-
can you co-parent in that relationship though?
No, because
No,
you
you
a
can't.
stranger.
No, you
You
can't.
cannot
You can't.
co-parent. That's a stranger.
It's hard.
It's so hard to co-parent
That's
in
hard.
that.
Oh Lord.
That's hard.
Well,
It's-
Dante
it's-
said, "Oh Lord."
Yeah.
A lot of our
It's
kids,
hard.
a lot of our kids are dealing with that.
But that's what I
dealing with
said. So
having babies by girls they don't even know.
So what do that but we already there. So I get you, Jen, that we need to have those conversations prior to. We need to be proactive and not reactive. But the fact of the matter is now we reactive. So now we reactive and neither one of y'all really know each other, but maybe y'all, what do that look like? Because again, we thinking about the child.
putting the kid first. That's
Then you gotta know
that's the first. That's the only
old the
way.
kid
That's the
is.
You got to
only-
put the kid first. Every decision got to be
Yeah.
about the kid, what's best for the kid, and y'all got to ride on that decision. It cannot be about me, you, ever.
But what if they did this and already had the kid 10 years old?
And now you just not finding out
Yeah,
about the kid.
that's
It's
gonna be
not going to be
hard.
the same.
Mm-mm.
Relationships built. That's the first thing. A relationship is built. So
On
if you
time.
have a baby and you there when your baby born and you there every single day all the way up, and then somebody bring you a baby, it's already different.
Yeah.
The bond not there. Somebody just bring a baby in your lap. They tell you it's yours, but
Right,
the
but you ain't
feeling
had-
is not
Right.
there. So same
Yeah.
with you go smash a girl and you get her pregnant, and now she having a baby. You looking at this broad like, I don't even like her.
I don't even
You
know
looking
you.
at
I don't
him
know-
like, I don't even know
you.
You know what I'm saying? But now you stuck
Yeah.
with this person
Stuck
forever
like
because it's
Chuck.
not
Then
18
that's child
years.
support come in, hatred come in.
Everything.
Yeah.
all that.
Everything. Grandparents come in because
And
I'm
I
I don't even know. I don't even want to talk
And
about
I had that I had
Grandparents
that
come in.
conversation with somebody that I dated, because he used to talk so bad about his baby mama. And I said, don't talk. I said, I ain't the one. I said, don't ever
Yeah.
talk bad to me because that's what you chose.
Mhm.
And I'm sure that whatever she's showing you now, she showed you then.
Exactly.
And you still decided
to have a baby.
So you
with
can't
them.
do that with me. Like I'm that one. Like you can't do that for me. And I'm like you, Jen. I don't care what you feel about whatever she doing, not doing, moving,
Right.
how
That
she
don't got
move.
nothing to do with me.
Did you pick that baby up today? Did you send that money
Girl.
over there today?
Yeah.
A lot of them be lies.
And
It
that's
do.
it-
A lot.
Let me
A lot
tell
of
ya.
people, the woman get an image
Them
in her
be
head
lies.
because they think they know you off of
Yeah.
what they baby daddy done told them.
Yeah.
And they don't even know you for real. So
Mhm.
now
And
that's where the drama come in because they done put this
Yeah.
image in their head and we don't get
Yeah.
to learn people for ourselves.
And
'Cause
for,
you know
and for
it,
that
but-
reason, y'all better go back to listen to podcasts about being a girl's girl.
I was
Crystal,
just
you
about
see
to
how they
say-
plugged them in? Go back
I
and
was
listen
just
to
about
it.
to say because it comes down to when those two women meet, because you can't be around my kid and I haven't met you. I haven't
I'm
met
the-
the person that he's
See,
with.
now do you think that's a bad thing?
No,
Because
that's not a bad thing.
I
I
don't
keep
wanna-
telling
much
y'all I've
pushback.
never really had a former introduction with
Oh,
my
no.
baby father's
I think it's
other
just on
baby
the
mama
woman.
/ girlfriend.
Yeah.
They've been together just as long as I've been with my husband. They've been together
Yeah, I
maybe
think that's
11 years. Okay. I've
Okay.
never had no type of interaction with this woman.
I just think
Right.
it all depends on the person. Like,
And
if
there's no
you
drama.
don't
It's-
want to do
so,
that, you don't have to. But me personally, if you're gonna be around my child, I need to know who's around
when
my
they was
child.
little,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
used to feel like that. But I
Yeah.
feel like that's where drama come in because we inserting ourselves in things that don't
Oh,
really
no.
matter to us. I feel like if
Mm-mm.
my kids go somewhere and things going on that's not supposed to go on, I feel like it's their daddy responsibility to handle it
Of
when
course.
they with him.
I
So I
agree.
feel like he's not gonna put them around anyone or do anything that's gonna harm them, just like I'm not. So why should I be in his business? I'm not in his business.
I ain't
Whoever
in
in
your
his house.
business. I just want to know.
So
who around
I
my
feel like
child.
if he want me to introduce or
Mhm.
us to know each other or feel like we need to have some type of interaction,
Mhm.
He
the
would've did
time
it.
will come. He
Mhm.
didn't do that. So I don't know they place. This might be somebody who you just
Oh,
live
yeah.
with. That's not my place. So
Yeah.
I
Okay.
feel like when you ready to introduce, and like I said, it's
Mhm.
been 12 years. They
Mhm.
got a 6-year-old, but we had no
Mm.
formal introduction or nothing.
So how do y'all act at the parties? and
that's
stuff?
what I was
Right, I
How
was
do
gonna say,
we
do y'all-
act at the
Yeah.
parties?
Right.
And stuff? We never had a formal introduction. That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
talking about like the kid
Right.
party. How do you?
She's
and-
never been to a kid party. That's what I'm saying. So I can't say
Damn.
what their relationship is.
Oh, so
so
it might
say
not-
say I
that's
inserted
different.
myself.
Yeah.
There's drama, right?
Yeah.
Because this might be a relationship that's not that.
Yeah.
I can't say. But as
Mhm.
long as I don't insert myself, it's not
Mhm.
my problem because that's not my
Yeah.
issue. He's
Right.
been with her for 12 years. She's never been to a party. I have nothing to do with that. My husband go to the party. He come to the party. These
Right.
my kids.
Right.
Long as they daddy show up and my man show up, that's all that matter.
Yeah.
What they do and how they handle their stuff is not my problem.
Yeah.
If I inserted myself in that, I could have been bringing drama to them. I
Yeah.
could be bringing drama to him. If he wanted us to meet,
Mhm.
he would have formally introduced us.
Yeah.
We
But
we
my-
had no reason.
I get introduced to my to their boyfriends or friends, whatever.
Yeah.
They get.
You gotta introduce
to
me.
that. They
Yeah.
know I be tweaking sometimes.
When it's serious, not when y'all just dating.
Yeah.
When it's serious, because I'm not about to.
But we can't never
you
say
know.
when it's serious for
That's
somebody
on
else.
them.
But they'll tell
That's
me like
on
this my
them.
boyfriend. This
But
my
when you bringing
boyfriend.
the
All
kids
right, when
around-
they
Like that.
introduce,
yeah, when you're bringing the kids around, it's a totally different situation because now
They
you're
live
saying,
together.
you know.
that's what I'm saying.
Man, my
they
kids
live
only
together. My
met
kids
Yeah, I
person
need
been
to know.
over
ever
there
dealt
and
with.
lived there.
See, that's good.
what
Yeah, I need to know.
it's not my.
I'm the same. My
Yeah.
kids only.
I've
met
never
one.
had no
Only one
drama,
person, yeah.
I've never had no drama because one thing I don't do is I don't be like, you know, you do this. I don't want to know y'all business. I don't do none
But
of
that's
that.
why I
just
say
be like,
every
"Hey, I'm
situation be
Keela."
different.
Yeah,
'cause
every
You
situation is.
you just
I'm
want to have you
Keela.
want to just have that meeting.
I'm her mom. Hey, let me let you know about my child. You know what I'm saying?
See, but me and they boyfriends, we have a different type of relationship outside of them.
Men do that though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Men,
Like, he'll
I
call
give
me and
men
wanna
the
talk
utmost with
sometimes.
that because it's
They-
not men.
It's not.
It's
messy,
women
it's
that's
women.
catty and messy and all
Yeah.
that. Men can show up, give each other a dap.
Yeah.
I don't think they talk about what the other man was doing to their friends and all that.
Right.
So it's no drama coming
Right.
in. Women, we come in with drama because
Yeah.
the guy didn't pillow talked and said lies about you because he gotta
Mhm.
boost himself up. And I mean, we know that. Come on now.
Right.
But it come in as drama
Right.
with women most of the time.
Yeah, and that's
It
true
can,
because
yeah.
I my last one I went into it like that, and I think she
See,
was
You
surprised.
enter what?
I know. I think she was surprised. I introduced myself. Matter of fact,
And you came in with no
I
drama.
never-
and I can't.
Yeah, I never.
And matter of fact, the
introduced
reason why I did it is
myself.
because he was his son was coming around, like he was coming around, and because I know how I am, I'm gonna treat people how I want to be treated, and so I'm the person, like you said, Keila, I want to meet the
Mhm.
person. So I said,
Yeah.
like, your son can't, like, I need his mama to know, like, I need to meet the mama, like,
Why?
at least I don't know, it just made me feel
I think it's like a sense of security, even though
You
you
still
do
don't know
trust
her.
the daddy.
You still don't know her though.
but
you
you
what?
just don't.
You laid eyes on her.
I
I
felt
lay
like,
eyes on you.
So, but you don't really
see
necessarily
what I'm
have to
saying?
lay
Did you see
eyes
what I
on them
said?
though. That's what I'm saying.
No,
That's
I need to
why.
lay
but that's the truth. But
I don't
after-
have to.
But after
I
I,
don't care
did
enough.
that, she respected that, and it wasn't.
Yeah,
It was-
yeah,
And she respected. I was like, I just want you to know this where your son be.
yeah.
This, did he over here? Like,
But
this
is that just a conversation? Cause let me backtrack. We done had conversations. Like she'll call if my son got out of control over there. She'll call me and
so
say,
yeah. So just making sure
Right,
there's open
so,
lines of
yeah, so-
communication.
So
"Oh,
that-
okay," in that. But
That's
I'm
what
saying,
I'm talking
far
about.
as
I ain't
a
trying to be in no
meeting
relationship.
Oh,
or
yeah, no,
Yeah.
a talking,
I
or
No,
yeah, like
no, because that ain't none of my business, right?
Yeah.
Right, but you want
we
an
don't need none
open
of that.
line of communication, and that's for me. That's what I wanted—an open
Yeah.
line of communication. And because
Mhm.
I'm with his father, and I need you to know that I'm gonna do my part to make sure he do his part.
Exactly.
And if he ain't doing his part, please understand you can call me, and we can figure it out as women. I don't want you to ever feel like,
right.
you know what I'm saying, it's an
Yeah.
open line of communication. Whether you use it or whether I use it is
Yeah.
totally up to us, but it's there. It's not where we can't communicate.
Yeah.
Ain't no animosity.
But that's where communication come in at.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
I'm big on
Mhm.
communication. And again, that for me showed the children
Yeah.
like that, my,
but see, I
my
think that
mama's
only
cool
gotta
with,
that. I mean, I guess that's depending on if the communication need to be there. You know what I'm saying?
you need
Sometimes
communication in all things for it to
no,
be
but why do
functioning.
I need to communicate with the step parent? That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm not
Sometimes the communication don't need to be
Right.
there in order to have
But you
No,
a
you
healthy
don't.
situation.
right, but you want to know that if you needed to have the communication, you could.
oh,
Right.
So,
right.
yeah, no,
of
no.
course.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying you got to call her all the time. Y'all kikiing, y'all best friends. But just knowing her enough that if there was a situation, maybe the daddy out of town, maybe the daddy in the hospital.
Oh, right.
anything.
Of course.
And
a
they still
situation
possibly
like
wanna
that.
get-
Right.
I
For
mean, but
me-
that's only when they in a serious relationship. You got to realize some guys don't move like how women move.
Right.
They might be around a girl for 6 months straight and
Mhm.
still not be that
Mhm.
might not be his woman. So just because they around somebody, us as women, we automatically think, oh, because he been dealing with her for this long, this got to be a girlfriend. It don't have to
Let
be
me
a
ask
girlfriend.
this. Let me ask this question. I'm glad you went into that. So when we talk about co-parenting, separate households, do you
Mhm.
feel like rules, regulations, and like how y'all choosing to raise the child, do those conversations need to be had? And after they had, do they need to be followed? And the reason why I say this, because I had this
Yes.
conversation very early on with my kid's father when we was together and we were separated. So we knew how we wanted to raise our boys. And that was one of the rules that both of us had. Like, we will have a conversation or meet when we get serious and we living with
Mhm.
somebody or whatever. We gonna have that conversation because
Yeah.
this is how we have decided to co-parent these boys.
Mhm.
Meaning how I essentially run my household, not to say that his is 100% the exact same way, but I know that if my kids go over there, they got the same bedtime, the routine is the same. So do you
That
think
ain't gonna
that's
work.
important?
It's not gonna work, because I'm finna tell you why it's not gonna work, and I'm gonna tell you why a lot of women clash. Because women, we run the house. So you can't run my house. So you can't tell me that it's a bedtime at this time. You got to let them run their house how they run their house. And you, again, got to know who you lay down with and respect them enough to know that they going to have rules set at their house according to how your rules is. But you got to let them run their household how they run their household. You can't run my household.
So if it, and I mean, I don't have, we parent the same. So I never
so
had that.
if you
It's
parent
worse.
the same,
But
then
I'm saying
it's gonna work
so
without setting rules.
So what you saying is,
Yeah.
if your child in school Monday through Friday,
Mhm.
and they bedtime at your house is, let's say, 9 o'clock,
Mhm.
but then they go over daddy house and daddy letting them stay up to 11, 12 o'clock, play the video game all night on the school night. Like, it's like, are we having a conversation, or are we just saying that's your daddy household?
See, with me,
whatever?
I'm not gonna know.
I'm gonna know.
I'm not.
I'm
See,
gonna know.
the thing about it, that's why
I'm
it
gonna know.
can't be. But that's the reason why. How you gonna know? What, you got a camera over his house?
I ask.
See, I don't ask.
Because
that's
it all
the thing.
depends on how long they've been over there too.
I
Because
don't
the sleeping
ask
schedule
no
be off.
questions,
and they might come
because
back on 50,000
gotta-
million.
Now, I
you
don't
have
ask
to-
questions about the
you
household.
gotta
no.
But see, I think that's
But
why
why you
it's
so
not
tired, son?
That's why it's not gonna never work,
Daughter.
Right.
because
You know what I'm saying?
Only thing
I'm
I
calling
respect
a
is the
daddy.
punishments. Like, if they own punishment,
exactly.
they come to
Then
my house.
you still
They
on the
still on
I'm still on-
punishment.
yeah, I do
Because
that.
that's, you know why? Because that's
Yeah.
personal. That's only about the kid. But when you
Yeah.
set bedtimes,
The
and you
bedtime is about the kid. I don't want my
but
kid
when you
going to
set
school
bedtimes,
tardy.
we might.
No.
But at my house, we might went to dinner. I might didn't cook till 9. I might got off at 8. So when they come to my house, things is not gonna run like how it run at your house. So what you don't know don't hurt you, right? That be the problem. We want to be too nosy. I
Okay.
feel like
Okay.
I feel like you want to know what you eat at your daddy's
But like
house,
when
what
it's
you
on a
do, what
consistent
time you went to
basis,
bed.
though,
I
you
don't
know what I'm
need to know
saying?
none of that.
I would have a conversation. It don't have to be an argument. You get what I'm saying? Like, it
A
can simply be
conversation.
like, Keela, well, when he over here, this
And the
is
minute
what
he say my
da, da, da,
woman
da,
don't cook the 9,
I
you're gonna be
can't
mad.
tell him
No,
because
I'm
he
not.
over there, right? I can't be like,
It's
I
that's
got-
how it's gonna happen.
I can't tell him, but at
Is-
least
am I lying?
But at
Right.
least
That's
we
how it's gonna
had a
happen.
conversation. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, well,
Meaning rules
you
been put
had
down,
him
right?
Well, you right. He was up. He was up to such and such time at your house when he came home. He tired for at least 2 days in
So
a row.
now you got to reprogram.
So can
it.
we
Then
figure
that's
this
when
out?
you only
It's
got to
it's
communicate with
called-
the parent, though.
That's what
That's
I'm
when
saying.
you communicate
talked
with the
about
That's
the
what I'm
parent.
saying.
But that's only if something in the behavior change. That's what you said.
Right,
When the
because
behavior
that's what's
change. But
gonna
if
happen.
every
That's what-
weekend, but if every weekend you come home, what you eat at your daddy house?
we
Oh
didn't-
no
Where
no
you
no
go?
no 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 no
That's
no,
what
no, no, no.
you said you want to know.
No, I said I
No, 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 no.
that's
So
not,
let's
no,
clarify
I
wanting
don't
to
want to
know.
know. I don't
You
want to
got
know.
women who
I don't
want to
want
know
that.
everything. They
didn't-
ask all
Now
those
that they
questions.
do.
No, I
Right.
do.
And that's create problems.
No,
for me,
when the
it's not
behavior
about
has
Who
what
was
changed.
with y'all? Who picked y'all
Oh,
up?
yeah, no,
Who
I'm
rode
not-
in the front?
No.
Who?
Yeah, no, we're not doing all that.
No.
But again, like she
I don't need
said,
to know all that.
if
Yes,
you
different
going,
things work for
if you
different
going
people.
over
It
there
can't-
during
that's
the
true.
week and you
it,
not
it got to be whatever floats your boat.
and you not going to bed till 10, 11 o'clock, like that is going to
Mhm.
have a behavior change, whether
Yeah.
it's school, you tired in school, whatever. Then when you come back here, now I
Mhm.
got to reprogram you. So I don't really care about what you eat, but I'm talking about the structure, the foundation in which we've decided that we want to
Yeah.
raise these
But you
children.
said y'all already talked about that. So if y'all already initially on the same page,
right, so
right?
I'm asking, is
We
that a
don't
bad-
really have to.
No,
we
I'm
don't
not
really
gonna
have to
circle
discuss
back.
it.
No, we don't have to circle back. No, that was the question. If you go into it that way, like, is that a bad thing?
What, asking?
No, not asking.
If the foundation has been
right,
broken.
if the foundation has been broken, like, can you expect that what you guys decided to do
With
when
y'all
you
kids?
were together, when you
Mhm.
guys were together, can you still expect that same foundation and same and I say rules loosely, those same guidelines in which you guys decided you wanted to raise your children? Can you still have that same expectation when you guys are parenting from different households?
You should be
You
able to in that
should.
part. I feel like you should be
Yes.
able to. So
So, yeah,
that's
that was
why I
the-
feel like you
right.
should be able to respect them enough
Yeah.
and trust them enough to know that they gonna still handle things as if they was
I
handling
agree.
it when y'all was together, if y'all was parenting together. I'm assuming if y'all know each other parenting styles. Now on the way of you just met somebody and you don't know their parenting style, that's a different story. You got to enter that chat a different kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to learn that person. You don't know.
That's why I said I think it's so important that, and I totally agree with Jen, that you have to have those difficult conversations when it comes to your children, because there are different parenting styles, and that again creates dysfunction for the child. Because if y'all separate and the child got a totally different parenting style over here and a totally different parenting style over there, that child batshit crazy.
Or if the kid know that the number one thing is, if my kid know that my mama and my daddy don't talk, they not gonna communicate anything. Why wouldn't they run games? I'm gonna tell you all this. I'm gonna tell him all this. I'm gonna make sure y'all don't talk to each other. I'm gonna keep it that way because I need to be able to do what I want to do over here, and I need to be able to do what I want to do over here. But when we work and we be on the same team, they can't get away with that.
And it's so important because these kids they're so accessible to so many different things that parents cannot afford to be on different pages, because it will slip through the cracks and this child will be off doing God knows what with God knows, lost in the sauce.
Yes.
So we got to make sure that we're having, and I'm not saying that y'all got to be best friends. Y'all ain't got to be going out to drink. Y'all ain't got to be kikiing, but y'all need to be able to pick up the phone and have a conversation about that child. And if you are in a relationship, like Jen said, that does not need to be a deterrent from you consistently being a parent to that child.
Yeah, you got to separate them. They don't have to be together. You got to parent your child and then have your relationship. It don't all go in the same thing. It's two different things, and people don't know how to separate them.
I do agree with that people don't know how to separate.
They don't. Yeah.
So if it comes down to, so do you end the relationship if it interferes with your co-parenting? Like, what does that look like? What do you think that looks like?
What you mean?
If your relationship that you've entered into, whatever that looks like, whatever your relationship, there's barriers or frictions in how you co-parent with your other parent. So at that point, when you have that toxic, no matter what it looks like, whatever situation problems are arising from the relationship on how you parent with that other parent is somehow causing issues in your personal relationship, how do you navigate that?
I mean,
well, with my husband, my husband didn't understand. I'm like you. I got 4 baby daddies. I'm sorry, y'all.
Tell her what you told me. Tell her what you told me.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy too. I got one. I be out my damn mind.
I got 2.
Tell her what you told me.
I'm cool with all my baby daddies except for one.
But that's good.
And that's my oldest daughter, father. But no, I don't keep up with their personalities. They pretty cool. Like I don't have any issues with them. The only issue I have is like you said, being consistent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna say they terrible. They not terrible, but it's just
the inconsistency.
They need to
Most
be more
women
consistent.
you talk to, that's what it is.
You know what I'm saying?
It's the
just be more consistent. You know what I'm saying? They are there for their children, but at the same time, like I need you to be consistent. But with my husband, like my husband didn't understand in the beginning, like, why you so cool with them? Like, why y'all always on the phone? Like, y'all be kicking it. And I said, because they like, I mean, we got a kid. Like, I was in relationships, you know what I'm saying? Except for one. Except for one. That's why I'm like, I don't know this.
Tell her what you told me. Tell her what you told me.
That was Jen said that.
My cootie cat was hot one night. I mean, so I'm 41. So
it is what it is.
No judgment. My guy.
No judge on. We just no judge on.
Yeah, we just saying the truth is the truth.
No judge on.
I don't care if they did. But like with my husband, like he didn't understand. Like, why y'all so cool? I was like, because like we didn't get here overnight. Like this is a process. Time. This has been time, like time built. So I'm like, I'm cool because there's no drama. You know what I'm saying? Even if they're not doing what they're supposed to do as far as like coming through.
It's still no
I
drama.
say what I gotta say. All right, Keela, click. And we move on. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate you, because in the end, this is how I look at it. Because I know how my father was. You're going to have to worry about that child. Because that child got to grow up. and they know
Yo,
what you're
do
doing, and they know what you're not doing.
Absolutely.
Point blank, period.
Yep.
They know what you're doing, and they know what you're not doing. And that goes for female and male, you know. So I think you should explain to your mate, like, hey, this is what me and his father or me and his mother discussed, and this is how we talk, and this is how we communicate. There's nothing going on. You should trust me. First off, there shouldn't really be no trust issues going on if y'all together. You know what I'm saying? But some people is still, you know, they got insecurities.
I mean, but if you doing things in secret,
you know,
it all depends.
And it shouldn't be nothing in secret.
Yeah, I answer the phone on the car because it's gonna be about the kids.
Right.
So
like with my husband's baby, you know, his child, he don't really communicate that with them. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So that's his
people
situation.
don't. So when you do communicate, they don't understand.
Right. He don't understand it because like I told him, I said, well, I have to raise these kids with these men. You like, I'm not about to sit up here and have dysfunction.
Right.
Because whether we know it or not, like
that's what it is.
They see this.
They do.
Yeah.
I have a 21-year-old and I have an 18-year-old and a 15-year-old. They see this.
They see it.
They go off of this. Like my son's father, he just got out. You know, he was incarcerated for 13 years. And me and him, like that was my best friend before we had our son. So when he came home, of course, they seen us talking on the phone sometimes, you know, talking about the children and everything. But we also had a rocky situation where we got into it, where we didn't talk for years. So all he did was talk to the children. So I want to say the other night, we like really been hashing it in since he came home. Like, hey, this what happened when this happened. He like, what? I kind of knew that because at the end of the day, he know me as a mother. But he also he was learning his children too over the phone. So you have to have, and I hate it because what we went through was terrible. Because me and him wasn't communicating. So therefore, you got that
divider
space
in between.
You got that space where anything can be thought. You get what I'm saying? And he in prison, and I'm out here in the world with his children, with a whole nother man. You get what I'm saying? So anything be
going on in their
anything
head.
can be going on in their head.
A lot of tension can come from that too, from your husband not worried about why you talking to them.
Yeah,
tension can come from that because I'm like, why is you worried about what I'm talking about or something like that? Then that's when that he's standoffish, I'm standoffish.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff can come from that.
And I had a little bit of that too, where
you have to communicate.
It was like, why you so cool with your baby daddy? And I'm like, why not? Like,
right.
Like and I always feel like I mean, of course I was hurt when the relationship ended, but he wasn't a bad person. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just, our relationship was over and there was hurt. But once we were able to get past the hurt, like we was friends. So now we back to, we cool and we parent. But it's like, oh, y'all must still be. No.
But again, I think that comes from being in a relationship with somebody, building bonds and all of that, and just having the baby. Because then there is no connections with nobody. So that's why it be so easy to walk away. But then women, I'm gonna say it to us again, women, we have to hold men that's not being fathers accountable. We lay up, I'm gonna say because I'm a woman too, lay up with men who don't take care of their responsibilities, who skip out on being a father, and we make them feel like that's okay.
Come on.
That's never okay.
Never.
Because you have to always be a dad first. So even if I don't like the mama or if I got a problem with her, how do you expect somebody to be a father to your kid?
Exactly.
And they're not being a father to their own kid. But we think that, when I have a baby, he's going to be a better daddy to me.
Child.
No, he's not. He's going to be the same father that he was because he was this same man laying up with her.
Dating one-on-one questions.
And then when he had a baby by you, it's not going to change. So when we lay up with them and let them not be around their kids and not take care of their kids and all that, they think that's okay. Stop being with men who not being a father. Like hold them accountable.
Hold them accountable.
Yeah. Like you and women, because it's women out here that's deadbeats too. Let's not get off that. Okay.
I need you to say that for another day.
No, they
Yeah.
out here.
No,
real,
it's true.
they out here
No,
real
they
bad.
out here.
No,
You know
but
what I'm
my
saying? It's
my
a
girl
lot of
Jen,
single fathers.
I have to keep my girl Jen on time because that's
She
another
don't play.
30 minutes. She's
Yeah,
she's about to go down.
They-
It's a lot of them too, but at the same
They out
time,
here.
it's like you gotta hold the other person accountable and make
You
them
do.
step up and be a parent. Like,
You
when
do.
the last time you seen your kid? Did you call your daughter? Did you see if they need something? What's their teacher name? What
You
school
do
they
that.
go to? What's their
And
favorite
like you
color?
said,
Who they
we
talking
stay.
to? But we stay with them.
But that go back to the conversation when they dogging the baby mama, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Until you sit down with that girlfriend
and then you talk to her.
or you talk to her and you like, they like, oh, you a good mother. Why would you say that I'm not?
Because he said it.
Because he said it, girl.
Yeah.
You
Y'all
know,
better stop pillow
He
talking.
hiding something. Then he doing all that.
He
What?
got some.
See, he got to be hiding
The
something.
fact
Why
that he a bum.
why you don't want these two to talk?
the fact that he
I
a
don't
bum.
think that I don't
I
think
don't
it be
necessarily-
that
I don't
they had
necessarily
something. I
that.
think it just be the fact of they do what they want to do.
Yeah.
A lot of men just move how they move.
Mhm.
You got to put in the fact of a lot of them didn't really want to be the father in the first place. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Ooh.
Let's put facts out there. So
Ooh.
they run away from the
What you
they run away from the situation. And we be knowing that, but we
Come
still put
on.
ourselves in that situation. So
Come on.
okay, yeah, time is clicking. All right.
We can talk
I
about
mean,
that for the whole
we can talk about that for a whole nother hour.
Y'all
But
know.
we are at time. We appreciate all of the comments. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We are off next week, so we will not be live next week. But we will be back live the following week. I think that is the 21st, but do not quote me. But as always, we podcast on Wednesdays at 7:00. You can catch us on Facebook or YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we out of here. Have a good night.
Good
See
night.
y'all.
y'all.